When you see pictures of our nation's capital, you may not notice the deep Christian history of our country. But when you're here, you realize the evidence is overwhelming. It was written in our founding documents. It was spoken by our founding fathers. And it is enshrined in our nation's most revered monuments and memorials. Now, we invite you and your friends to come to Washington, D.C. and see and feel the history, the energy, and the role that God played in America's story with your own eyes.
Oh, it's been eye-opening on how much belief and how much commitment that the founding fathers like Jefferson and Washington had with God and how much they put God first into the foundation of this country.
It kind of strengthens your faith because, it says, in God we trust on the back of a quarter. Yeah, that's cool, it's just words. But when you come here, you see the deeper meaning of how it all connects and it all just comes together.
The fact that we get to see all these national monuments in the Capitol and seeing how God's intertwined himself into all of these different monuments. The verses are everywhere. I always thought about the political aspect, not the godly aspects.
Your adventure will be packed from morning to night. There's so much to experience in Washington, D.C.
So many things have been amazing, like Arlington National Cemetery, just how respectful the guards are and self-disciplined they are, but also friendly at the same time. It's just been really amazing.
Seeing how many soldiers died just so we could be where we are, I said that so many times, wow, this is insane that every single grave here sacrificed for our country, and so we can live freely. And I think that we take that for granted sometimes.
You'll visit some of the greatest museums in the world, including the Museum of the Bible, one of the largest museums dedicated to the Bible, the African American Museum of History and Culture, and the Holocaust Museum.
Realizing how much you have, going to the Holocaust Museum, when we think life is hard, you have to look back at that and remember what they had to go to.
My favorite was the Martin Luther King out of all of them because we got to go there and we read the speech, and that was so cool to be a part of it.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Just the memorial itself was really cool. The way that they phrase carving out of the rock of despair a stone of hope. That's a great image. It doesn't just have to relate to civil rights. As long as there's evil, hope can stand up to it.
Your trip will be led by your own course leader to share fun facts and answer all your questions along the way. They'll encourage you to think about the role God has in store for you in America's future. And when you aren't seeing amazing sights, you'll spend lots of time with your friends.
I'm having a blast, and we get to see all sorts of cool stuff, and you get to experience things you never experienced before. We have fun with our friends while we get to learn.
To see what we learned in class compared to here is just incredible because you learn so much more in depth here than you do in class.
Even for students who don't like history, getting to go places and going and seeing God's hand in literally everything, it can be just an amazing experience overall.
When you and your friends join us in Washington, D.C., you'll watch history and your faith come alive on a travel adventure you'll never forget.
I expected to learn a lot, but not nearly as much as I have. It's been eye-opening.